Yes.
Hello.
Ooh, you look handsome.
Oh, thanks very much.
What's this, Jeff Leach?
I'm a seedy pimp, Cherie DeVille, for today's episode. What about yourself? What are you?
I am Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Now, why are we dressed
Julia Roberts, Pretty
like
Woman.
a seedy little pimp?
Yeah.
And Julia Roberts, sexy character from Pretty Woman.
Because we are talking today about prostitution.
Prostitution?
Yeah.
Something which maybe we've both done? Have you ever done any sex for money?
Well, I'm a pornographer, so I do a lot of sex for money, but I've never done in-person work.
Oh, never like an escort thing or anything like that? You never done
what?
that? Escorting or anything like that or whatever?
No, I have a lot I have friends that do. Full respect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have done that.
Have you?
Weirdly, yeah.
So wait. So what we're saying here is that me,
This is
a
my
pornographer.
episode. This is my episode.
This is you.
This is my
You're the
opus magnum,
expert.
ladies and gentlemen. I am about to, or opus magnum, I don't know what's the correct.
Magnum condom, so I'm going with Magnum.
This is my magnum condom, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest moment of my life, and I've risen to the occasion. Yeah, no, I did a documentary.
You out-hoed me right now.
What am I going to say? You know?
I love this for you.
Thank you. I am part of the sex workers union that doesn't exist. I'm part of it unofficially.
But you're one of us.
Well, I did a documentary about sex, about escorting.
Okay.
It's cool. I've got to take this teeth out.
Yeah. It
That's
looks
going to be
good,
the whole
though.
episode is going to sound awful if I'm like a little Lispy Pimp.
You look good, though.
That's my name, by the way, the Lispy Pimp.
The Lispy Pimp?
Yeah. Hey, say, you want to get sexy with my girls? That's what he does, yeah. I spit in their face and then she spits in their face. It's a double action. So
pay extra.
I did a documentary called Male Hookers Uncovered, where we kind of explored the world of male escorting and all of the pitfalls and stuff. I was a host.
Okay.
It was an immersive documentary, and for BBC back in the UK.
What?
And the purpose of it was I was going to go so immersive that I would become a male escort and have a client and get paid to have sex.
And you did?
For money. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got paid.
Did they film it?
Actually, I'll tell you something that I haven't.
Are you a pornographer as well? Did they film it?
They didn't film the sex. No, didn't film the sex. But I am definitely a pornographer.
Yeah.
If that's all that's entailed in being a pornographer is filming yourself fucking, then I am
then you got
an established auteur of the work, of the art form. Yes. No, I like a little voyeurism. I like shooting, myself and a partner in a private way and sharing it. But I don't like sharing that with other people. It's just for us to enjoy or for me to enjoy,
Later on.
Yeah, when they're not around, if they're away on holiday, you go, ooh, and just watch a little video.
Watch this hot time,
Yeah. Although, ironically, actually, I think she'd probably be happier I said this than I didn't say the other, which is I haven't done that with my fiance. We've never actually filmed ourselves. We're actually very.
Would you, or you not interested? Like,
no, never really discussed it at length. We never really discussed it at length.
Yeah.
So I would. Why not?
Because she's out of town a lot. It'd be really nice.
Sure. But we just haven't done that because I don't know. I guess we connect over the phone. There's a million ways to connect and be sexy with each other without having to film yourself and then replay it.
No, it's not the only way, but it's a lovely way.
But a pornographer I am in that respect. But yeah, a prostitute too, because I became a male escort. I got paid, what was it, 200 quid?
Nice.
Which is like, at that time, $300 to have sex with a woman. And I had sex with her twice over a couple of hours.
You?
She was a fan of mine. We built a website for me. I signed up for escorting agencies and all this stuff as part of the documentary.
You signed up like with an agency and everything.
As part of the documentary, and also seeing how people, males who want to get into the industry of escorting, prostitution, really think it's going to be this breeze that they're just going to, hey, I'm a good-looking guy, I'm just going to give my dick out, women are going to flock to me, blah, blah. And it ain't that fucking simple.
I need all of this information.
Well, there's loads of, first of all, there's loads of scams. So most of the websites you see, there's scams.
I had a friend get scammed.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happened to them?
Yeah, so he called I think he found online, a certain
Become
picture of a woman,
whatever.
No, he wanted to hire an escort. And someone else showed up at the door, and then the guy beat him up and stole all his shit. I know.
So he got robbed by the potential.
Robbed trying to
Did a woman arrive at the door and then a guy pushed in?
Yeah, but it was not the woman. Like immediately it was a robbery.
Yeah.
For a half a second there was a woman at the door.
That shit happens with like pizza deliveries.
No,
now.
I know.
It's not even a real thing. That's crazy, isn't it?
Anyway, continue.
Well, that did not happen, fortunately.
Yeah, jeez, because I'm like, what?
So the way they do it, right, the scam, is they basically say to gents, You sign up to the site for free. Give us your headshots, give us your stats. We have a phone call, you get all your info. We get your payment info to pay out. And you don't pay for a membership until we get a client that's interested in hiring you.
All right.
So what they do is they let them know a week after. You've had a hit. There's a woman who would like to meet.
Nice.
Now, to finalize your profile, we need to take your $150 sign-up fee, and that's for the processing fees, the admin fees, for pushing you out to the clients, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then we also take a percentage of your clients from now on.
Okay.
Great, cool, I've got a client. I'm going to make this money back in no time.
Tonight.
Is what the guy thinks.
Yeah.
Then they make the payment of $150. Then what happens is they hit them back and go, we're so sorry, she's cancelled. They do that the 2 days before the booking. She's so sorry, there's been a cancellation, she's got cold feet. This happens a lot.
This is complicated.
But it's simple really, and it's outlined, but it sounds convoluted to the guy, so he thinks it's real.
Yeah.
And then they go, what we'll do is we'll push you to the top of our rankings, we'll give you some featured prominence on the website for the next couple of weeks, just to make up for this, because it wasn't your fault that she cancelled, blah, blah, blah. So the guy thinks, okay, I'm fine. And then what happens is he never gets another booking. It just doesn't happen. And they do this to thousands of guys.
So they're just
thousands
raking
in
every
the
money
guy who comes
for doing nothing, no work.
Exactly. And there are that many
calls.
lonely guys phoning up going, I could be a sex worker. Yeah, that's how I'm going to make money, a bit broke and want to make some cash. Or they just think that's the life for me.
I wonder if like the advent of being able to sell your body online has ruined some of those scam markets.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
It will have done, yeah. But there was a guy who was like a kingpin of it, who had lived out in Spain, so he was untouchable by UK
like this
police.
Site?
Yeah. And we were part of the sting operation. It was a really interesting
Shut
documentary.
up.
But I also
Is it
had sex
illegal
with this
where
woman.
you did it?
No. Escorting. So you're not exchanging. You weren't having sex for money. She was paying for my company, and anything sexual that transpired between us was between two agreeing adults outside of our work relationship. So I was just there to hang out with her.
I feel like that's what people in America say.
But we happened to hang out in a hotel room.
But because I have a lot of sex worker friends and a lot of escort friends, like it would absolutely not be okay for them to go to work and not have sex with that client, even if they say it's a donation or it's, whatever the lingo you use is.
Listen, I don't want to put myself in an actionable legal position here. So for the purpose of that...
Did you feel pressured to have sex with her is what I'm asking you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think it was an understanding that I was going to probably have sex with this woman.
It was certainly her hope.
That was her hope, I imagine, and that's what transpired. And at first, it felt amazing, because then you get the money and you get this envelope with like 200 quid in it. I'm like, I just got to have sex with this woman for... actually, it was more than that. Did I get paid 400? I got paid more, because I remember telling a sex worker friend about afterwards.
Freaking job.
And the woman who I spoke to, who was a sex
Especially
worker,
for a
was
male
shocked.
sex worker.
She was an escort, and she said, "There's no way men get paid that." And it was only because she was a fan of yours.
That was what. Was there like an auction for you?
She was a stripper, so we set up a website.
Yeah.
I advertised it on my Twitter. I said, "Hey, I'm doing a documentary." It's when Twitter was a brand new thing. I said, "I'm doing a documentary. If you've got any friends who want to hire an escort,
hit me up.
This is not a joke." And then put out the website link. And she immediately emailed, along with a few other people, and she was like, "I'm a stripper. I like Jeff. I've seen him on TV shows. So I did the Big Brother's Big Mouth."
So the person that hired you
was a fan.
Was also a stripper.
She was a stripper, not an escort. She didn't do escorting, but she was a stripper.
Sure.
She was married with a child, and she was a fan
Did they know?
of mine.
I guess they did after the show.
No,
After the show.
No, because we never revealed her face, and we changed her.
At all.
We changed her voice. There was a phone call, but we manipulated her voice slightly, so it wasn't
that was her
her
request.
Yeah, and she used her a different name. She's a stripper. I'm sure she used whatever name she wanted.
I'm sure she has a lot of names.
Yeah, her name wasn't really Pumpkin Puppet.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
it was so believable.
Anyway, so I had sex with this woman, and it felt prostitution feels interesting. Because in the moment, it feels very empowering, very sexy. It can be. Certainly, this woman was attractive, so I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
But my experience, like everything in life, because I'm white and I'm straight and I'm a man, was privileged. My experience, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get to. Don't worry, I'm not getting too fucking woke here. But
beautiful person who was kind.
I got to fuck a hot stripper who wanted to fuck me.
Do you know what I mean?
I got paid a lot of money to do it.
And you got paid a lot. Boo-hoo. Yeah.
And we had sex twice, actually. We had sex once, and then we talked for a couple of hours, and then we had sex again, and then that was it.
You gave her a lot of your time.
I gave
for
her
that $400.
the whole service. We lay there, we talked. I asked her why she was doing it and things. She even had, but then as soon as she left and she put money on the counter.
I love that you called it full service also.
Full service.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what she was paying for. A
Yeah, yeah,
boyfriend
yeah,
experience. Like, but a boyfriend who's intimate, but also who would talk to her and stroke her. I gave her a
awesome.
massage for a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's
You'd
what
be an amazing in-person sex worker, Jeff.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Maybe as a job.
Talked.
Here's the problem.
You gave her a massage. You asked her like poignant questions. You
Here's
had
the
sex with her
problem.
twice.
If
Like
she had walked
that's
into
the
that,
gold
if
standard.
she had walked into that hotel room or knocked on that hotel door and I'd opened it,
Yeah.
and she was in some way very grotesque to me, like
it was a body type you didn't like, or an odor you didn't like.
Yeah, or she was like had no teeth in her face and she was all like dribbling and she like I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have been like, could I have had sex with that woman? Is the question.
Would you have tried?
I would have tried, yeah, for the documentary because I'm a lunatic.
For the documentary, for the art, not even the money.
At that time, I'll be honest with you.
Not the promise.
At that time, I was sexually very fluid and loose and like kind of enjoying fucking whichever women wanted to have sex with me.
Yeah,
I was a bit self-loathing, so I would have sex quite often with women because they wanted to, rather than because I wanted to. I just wanted to please them, so I was like,
interesting.
all right,
Yeah.
sure, I could jerk off or I could have sex with this woman, and
Might
she
as well
really
have
wants to fuck
sex,
me, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have sex with her. And I'll give you an example. I had sex with a woman who I thought was very attractive. She was a lot older. She was like in her late 50s, and I was in my early 20s.
20-something, yeah.
And she was beautiful. She was graceful. She was well put together, but she was definitely older.
Yeah, a
But
lot older.
she put it together amazingly well.
Yeah.
One night, drunk, she drove me home, and I was like, do you want to come in? Because I knew she wanted to come in. I was like, all right.
you knew. She's not just driving you home.
And we had sex, and I still thought she was aesthetically beautiful, but there was an odor, which was very unpleasant. And also, once she came out of that
hygiene
dress,
odor?
everything, more like, I think, like BV or like a pH imbalance or some shit.
No.
And also, or probably her fucking lady parts may not have been aerated for a while because she was a widower of many years.
Oh, like you're talking dusty.
She wasn't sexually very active as far as I knew. She talked to me about it. She said she hadn't had sex for a long time, many years. So maybe her vagina just hadn't had the refreshment
a good breather.
it's often
She's wearing
received.
tight panties. Yeah.
I don't know. It was unpleasant. And then also the body, once it came out of the dress that was holding everything together, and the brassiere and the
it was
underwear,
really holding it
everything
together.
kind of went. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
as beautiful as that is for a woman's body to age gracefully over time, and I respect that.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I was stimulated by.
It wasn't what you were wanting at that time.
But guess what?
Yeah.
Still did the
did
job.
it.
Still fucked her.
Best hooker ever.
Still fucked her. Well, that wasn't even that's what I'm saying.
No,
So
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're just like happily, no money, no
I
pressure.
just wanted to make her happy.
Yes, this job is for you.
What do you think prostitution's about?
What do you mean? What it's about?
What is it about to you? What is being a prostitute? Why are people prostitutes? And why do people hire prostitutes?
Well, I don't know what it is to be a prostitute, but as a sex worker, I think there's a lot of things involved.
Oh no, I'm asking
like,
you as a
but I'd
sex worker, what do
imagine-
you
right,
think
Right. So like I'd
prostitution
imagine that
is?
if someone hired me, there'd be what's flattering. They're paying money for you. That's a huge ego
So
boost.
as the prostitute,
Yeah.
you'll end up feeling validated by the purchase of your sexual services.
I definitely feel validated. Even now, like when people look at my porn and buy it and jerk off to it and they're like willing to spend money on what I've created sexually, it's definitely part of why I do the job. It's a huge ego boost.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So I think for me, that would be part of it. And then it's almost like performing on film, you don't know who you're performing for.
Right.
But you'd literally know who you were performing for. So it's just, it's...
Wait, what do you mean? You know who you're performing for when you...
Your fans in general, but they're not right in front of you giving you immediate feedback.
Who's getting off on this?
Right, like
because I would
this
assume
is
it's
the
the
person
guy
getting
or
off
the
on
girl
this.
or the multitude or the 8 guys.
Yes, you're having a great time with your partner, but you're both doing it for...
To please other people.
The fans.
Right.
And you have fun doing it. But this would be directly...
Yeah, your
that's
fans
the
there,
person.
the fans there.
That's the person that's enjoying it.
Well,
So
you've also done
that's
POV stuff
very
where you find a
powerful
fan, you
too.
fuck a fan and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Is that as close as you can get to the experience maybe of what this form of sex work is? Being on a street corner and flagging, John
like a
comes
vetted, tested, paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fan.
yeah.
Who wants to pay to...
Yeah. Well, they're the pay.
Or not pay, not pay. You're
but yeah,
fucking them,
yeah. I feel like most porn performers that do fuck-a-fans actually end up maybe paying for their lodging or their flight, or they've won a contest,
or paying them to leave
there's
them alone
other...
afterwards. Like, don't call me.
Please go.
Leave me
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
We should not have shot this in my actual house.
Good God,
This was
I'd
a
hope
terrible
not.
decision.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus, can you imagine?
Have you ever had a fucker fan reach back out to you afterwards?
No. And the closest I've gotten is like performers that aren't like really performing a lot. That's like the closest I've got to like fan.
Because really, it's the opposite for sex work of a prostitution
Exactly
nature.
the
You
opposite.
want them to come back. You want them to be wrapped around your finger. You want them to be thirsty and hungry for what you're sexually rocking, whether it be...
So that like every weekend or 2 times a month, I know that so-and-so is going to come.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
They're going to pull up on a Saturday, Sunday afternoons is when his wife's at church. I want him to
Plus,
pull
you know
around.
all
or
his
like,
stuff. You'd know all his kinks. You'd be doing a better job every time you saw him.
Yeah.
Or her. Or them. Yeah. I think that'd be great. Personal connection. But I know hearing from my friends, it's, you know, not all clients are, just like you had an amazing client.
Why is prostitution...
Not all clients are the same.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of the reception of clients, and I'm talking clients and outside of that, the reception in general, why is it that so many other forms of sex work have been progressive in at least being accepted a bit more and more and more? In fact, they're becoming more and more parts of mainstream culture. And yet prostitution is still so viciously treated by, certainly by religious groups, or conservatives.
I feel like there's like a hierarchy. You know
but
what I mean?
It's the oldest job. It's the oldest profession in the world.
Sex work is vital.
It's the oldest profession in the world.
Right, because it's fucking vital. You know what I mean? But I feel like every culture makes this ridiculous hierarchy of like, well, if you're only stripping, that's less slutty, and then maybe cam girl. Like, so they have this like, and for whatever reason, our culture is like, that's the dirtiest. Like, I think that's absurd, but it's like we've had this
Why does that?
nebulous,
Why is it that way?
I think it makes people the most uncomfortable.
Do you think it makes them also feel better than they are? Because I think a lot of the anger, anger society projects onto people who are, and we're being a bit serious here, but like a bit more marginalised, like sex workers are. They can't unionize. They don't get the healthcare support they need. They don't have. They can't. They would happily pay taxes and declare money and be able to use that money in legal ways to find better lodgings or elevate themselves in their career.
Yeah.
But because they're in most places not allowed to do that legally. I guess there are states where escorting is legal.
There's areas where it's legal.
But it's still frowned upon, right?
It's very, even then, like legally structured in a way that's not great.
I think it makes men certainly feel, and a lot of women feel better and more elevated than their sex worker counterparts. That's what they get off on, is that I shit on, if we don't shit on prostitutes or escorts,
but that still brings you back to the first part of your question. Why did society decide that that was the lowest thing? Where, as the oldest profession, why did we not decide that that's the highest?
Because fucking is when we're at our most animalistic.
So it's like a vulnerability issue.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's like, that's
and
where
so many people have sex issues that they like project that shit, I think.
Yeah, I also think religion. Religion has everything to do with it. Why is anything...
In the United States, for sure.
...demonized, and it's mostly because of religion.
Yeah.
Or religious groups.
But I love my in-person sex workers. Yeah.
Would you ever pay someone else for sex, or have you ever paid someone for a sexual experience?
I would. Yeah. I think I would for something that like, especially like, say I'm with someone who doesn't, like they have a fantasy of like, multiple partners or whatever. Well, I'm only one human, and maybe I can get some friends together, but I'd be more than happy to pay to fulfill a fantasy I didn't feel like I could achieve on my own, or make it safe,
what would it be like
or
having
make it...
that, now you're in the power, now you're the customer who needs to be pleased. Do you think that's a fetish in itself?
That wouldn't be my fetish, but I think that's absolutely a fetish. Like, I'd be more like...
You don't get off on that, the role reversal stuff?
No, because I'd be more like, so appreciative that they were here, like doing this like amazing fantasy I had constructed. I feel like I'd be like, do you want water? Do you want this? Do you want that? How can I like make you more comfortable?
Warm towelette.
Literally.
Eucalyptus towel.
You think I wouldn't?
Oh no, I can see you absolutely having eucalyptus.
Pampering the shit out of those whores. Yes.
Cherie DeVille is like what's those fucking gyms? Fancy
Equinox.
Yeah, Cherie DeVille is like the Equinox of fucking. Like she's
Leave
there
them
with
snacks.
a cold scented eucalyptus towel to wipe down the cum stains after she's done
I'd make
spoofing
sure
on your
was
face.
Comfortable. So yeah, I mean, I would totally hire a sex worker, and I definitely don't see me dying without having done that at least once.
What would you go for? Are you going to go down and do it old school? Are you going to get in a Cadillac and slowly pull up alongside some ladies or gents on a street corner? Are you like going high end?
I want to lazily flip through a catalog online until I see exactly what I'm looking for.
You want to swipe?
Full objectification. I just want to, yeah.
So you're going to go online, you're going to pick someone out, you're going to call them up.
Or someone's.
It's an interesting
plural,
thing. You know, my only experience of a sex worker, because we talked, previously about strip clubs and how I don't really like paying for sexual experiences.
Have you hired? Have you paid?
No, I haven't.
No?
But I did. I was at one of my birthday parties. After my birthday party, myself and a buddy, an Australian guy, a comedian that I used to take a lot of coke with and party with. We ended up back at my house doing a load of coke, drinking until whatever time in the morning, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a friend over," and I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah."
Invite
and I
whoever you
didn't
want
think
over.
anything of it. I just assumed it was some friend who's leaving a club. And he was on his phone for a little while, and then he goes, "All right, all sorted." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then get this phone call. Ding dong, ring at the bell. And he invites this girl up, and he's like, "Oh, this is my friend, blah blah blah." Introduce her, and I'm like, "But they're not friends." And she goes, "Okay, so cool."
But
and she takes her jacket off, and she's got lingerie on. She's like, "Okay, so who am I? If it's both of you, it's going to be more money." Blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay for that. I'll pay for that." I'm like, "Oh, I'm all right."
No,
I said, "I'm good, not
you,
fucking her."
miss.
So I was like, "But I will happily just sit and enjoy drinking and watching."
Yeah, was it a hot show? Did she do a good job?
She was attractive, and so he couldn't get his cock up properly because of all the coke he'd done. So it was really embarrassing. She was like, "You sure you don't want to come over and
So she's just
get a job?"
pulling taffy.
Really was. And he was like, "Oh, sorry about that. He was kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like that bad though, because he didn't really give too much of a fuck.
No.
They finished whatever they were trying to do, and on the way out, she gave me her number and said, "If you ever want to like hang out outside of a work environment." So I met up with her. I invited her over, and we had a date, and then we came back to my house and fucked. Yeah, but no money exchanged hands.
Let me ask you a question about that. You saw her fuck him, right?
Try, yeah.
Okay, so like
gently ride.
Can you see the difference? Like, was she like performing more then? Was she more real with you? Like, what did you say?
It was very different. It was a very different sexual experience.
Yeah.
It was a very different. I don't think she was very long in the game. Because she when she was talking to him, it was, she kind of was just doing what she probably would do if she was having sex, but I could tell it was a little forced, like didn't feel real.
She didn't have game face on
the
yet.
guy was throwing a bit, like
2.5
inches of fucking soft spaghetti
into
her vagina, and she was acting like he was laying down some good pipe.
She was doing her best.
He was trying to throw his back into it, but his back and his front were very close together. There was no ass, no penis. It was just pelvic. It was just a pelvic bone being smashed up against her cheeks.
Poor lady.
But she was really giving him a performance. And then with me, it was different because like her sounds were matched to the physical moments that were happening.
If there was something actually, it's not
if
like
there was a deep
kiss
moment,
on the neck and
really
she's like,
oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So would you hire someone though? Would you ever in your life spend money?
Nah, I wouldn't do
fun?
it. No? I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it.
Even if your partner was like, let's invite a whatever over, I want to pay someone?
Nah.
Or do you just totally no?
I don't need to do that, nah.
Okay,
but
enough,
I would let her pay me.
Hot.
Why not? That could be a role play, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, we'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes.
I love it. Prostitution.
There we go. We've both yet to experience our ideal versions of it, but we will.
I will.
I imagine you will. Age 80, frying up money. All right. Cougar.
Comic.
Conversation. See you next time.